Hi guys, Zaki and welcome back to Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 4v4 match on the map Twin Waters. I'm starting in the middle right position, playing as the Allies. Now I'm just going to go through the player positions because this is quite a different level match from the ones I usually play. In the top right we've got Ronaldo, who's won the quick match ladder on multiple seasons and playing as the Allies. There's myself in the middle right playing as the Allies also. And if we go a bit further down, we've got Rambo, for some reason, who's playing as Orange, and he's also playing as the Allies. And we've finally got Gerben, another very good quick match player, who is playing as the Green. Now, on the other team, what we've got is we've got Goku, who won the quick match ladder last season. He's playing as Yellow and playing as Allies as well, as most people. And then we've got Galaxy Great, who's playing as the Soviets. A bit further up, we've got Henter, a common person on my channel, and he's playing as the Allies also. And then in the top middle position, we've got Brown Puddle. He's come in the top 5 in the quick match ladder before, and he's playing as the Soviets. Now back to the game view. So it's very rare to get a field of this caliber playing in multiplayer. I'm probably actually one of the weaker players here in this game. And first of all, what we're going to need to do is I'm going to need to send up troops to where Ronaldo is. So I'm sending infantry straight away because Brown Puddle, who's playing as the Soviets, is going to try and send a lot of infantry at the start and try and get some building kills or structure kills if he can, and he's going to really use those infantry, which is why I'm sending so many. I'm producing a few more infantry than I usually would, but I just know that Brown Puddle's a really good player, and I'm going to need to do that if we're going to stand a good chance. And just putting my ore refinery down on that gem patch, and now building an ore silo, and now going on to a war factory. Now I don't think Ronaldo knows this map very well. He's gone for the gem and ore patch to the side. Usually the player playing at the top right will go for the gem patch, and we know that Brown Puddle will be on gems at this moment, and we can see that Henter and Brown Puddle are bringing the units forwards, and we have to be careful here because Brown Puddle, playing as the Soviets, has grenadiers, and they can obviously throw grenades at quite a range and do a lot of damage. So you can just see me trying to defend as much as possible here, and Brown Puddle is trying to take some infantry across the top of the map. I have my first war factory down. I'm going to get one ore truck and then start building light tanks, which I can send up. And now we can see Brown Puddle's infantry getting taken out, but it looks like he's getting more further down, and Ronaldo being forced to get a light tank really early on, just so he can get a squash on some of those infantry. And I've still got some infantry left. Just probably good that I actually built them, but we'll have to focus on the economy as well. We can see Brown Puddle still with a number of infantry there, and now Ronaldo's built his second ore refinery. So he's gone for an early second ore refinery so he could build tanks straight away, just to eliminate the push of infantry from Brown Puddle. And one of those infantry going further down, but it looks like we're stabilising for now. But Brown Puddle coming in with those red infantry, getting closer, and I just have to be careful, try not to lose all mine straight away. So I've spread them out a little bit because I know about those grenadiers, and it seems like we've managed to whittle those down a little bit, and now Ronaldo's back with his light tanks, and I'm starting to get my light tanks here as well. So I'll just try and get some of the infantry squashed here. We've got a few infantry down. We don't want to have spare infantry running around destroying power plants like they're doing there. Otherwise you can suddenly realise you're low on power. And now we see Henter coming in with those light tanks, and he's going for buildings, diving the power plants first of all. And I'm going to be taking my light tanks up, and now I'm getting my second ore refinery on that big ore patch to the right of my base. But now Henter going for those building kills. But we can see Brown Puddle coming in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hold a line here because those Soviet heavy tanks can do a lot of damage. So I'm just going to try and block these going in, and I'll leave Ronaldo to deal with Henter. Fortunately, I know Ronaldo does have a second ore refinery, so if he did lose one ore refinery, then it's not going to be too much of a big deal. I'm just going to try and hold this line. We can see Brown Puddle with those 4 heavy tanks, and with more coming. I'm just using these light tanks just to try and do a bit of a block, and as Henter sends some tanks in, I'll just get a little bit of damage there, so they're a little bit damaged and easier to kill once they get in. But I need to be careful here and make sure Brown Puddle doesn't get through my tank forces. But we can see there Ronaldo starting to build up his light tanks, and now he's going to come in for the attack with me. I've also got my third war factory down, which means I'm going to have really good tank production, but I do need to be careful with the economy just to make sure that I can utilise that third war factory speed. But now we're starting to be able to take over Brown Puddle's tank forces, and they're starting to get whittled down very quickly. You can see the numbers from me and Ronaldo are just too great at the moment, and Henter losing got a couple of light tanks there, but they're going to be taken out quite easily, and we're just pushing the other team back for now. It looks like that Brown Puddle's not going to have enough forces in order to hold on to this, and it does look like we're getting through to the main part of their base right now. And we're just making sure I'm getting those tanks of Henter killed as soon as they're produced. And you can see that Brown Puddle is heavy tanks are whittled down now. And now we're going to go for the war factories. Every time he loses his war factory, he's going to have reduced building speed. So he's going to be able to replenish those heavy tanks more slowly. We're getting another war factory down, a second war factory down. And it's looking bad for them, and now we're going to go for his construction yard so he can't replace any of those war factories. And once that goes down, it's going to make it even worse for the other team. And we'll go for the barracks because those infantry could be quite annoying, which he'll start producing now because he knows he can't produce as many tanks as he'd like to, and he might have a third war factory in there. But what we need to make sure is we keep on fighting the tanks. We've got Henter's light tanks there coming in, but I don't think they're going to be enough. And we can see Ronaldo going past us there, and he's going on to attack, and Brown Puddle is out of the game, it looks like. And we're going to have a look at what happened at the bottom of the map during this time. So earlier in the game, we had the infantry at the start, and we can see there Gerben's infantry going down, and we've got Goku and Alex pushing forwards. We've got Ronaldo playing as the orange. Now, the reason I'm very specific about Ronaldo playing as orange is because anyone who knows Ronaldo from Red Alert is he always insists on playing green. So I don't know how the match got started without him, you know, being green, but it did. So we're going to see an orange Ronaldo here playing against Goku and Alex. Alex playing as pink, Goku as yellow. And you can see it's a bit of a stalemate. It's very hard to push forwards because if you run infantry into other infantry, usually the ones that do the running into will be worse off. But the thing is that pink has some grenadiers, which makes it a bit tricky. And now we can see Gerben with the medium tank coming out. He gets the infantry squashed there, and he's going up the map, and he's squishing all those infantry from Goku. And that is a big loss to their team. And now they're going in for the attack. And we're seeing from Alex a service depot, which is a very strange move, and it means he's going to be building an extra MCV. But is this too risky? Because we got two teams below are going to be taking in tanks. We've got Gerben taking in medium tanks right now. He's going for the power plants of Goku, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Rambo following on shortly. Yeah, and indeed we do. We can see Rambo coming in with those light tanks, and Goku's put up a pillbox, and now we see Alex come out with the extra MCV, and he's going to probably push it further down. But the question is, can Goku hold on? We can see him fighting those medium tanks. We've also got Rambo coming in with light tanks and infantry, and they're going for the ore refinery. They're trying to eliminate Goku's economy. We've got Goku with his light tanks, Gerben with his medium tanks, and Rambo with his light tanks as well. We've got some infantry in from Alex as well, and now Alex has deployed a Tesla coil. Now, because he's got two construction yards, he will be able to build structures twice as fast, so I think he's going to try and go on with the Tesla crawl, but unfortunately it's going to take quite a while to get that sorted, and it depends if Goku's taking too much damage early on. He'll probably be building an extra ore refinery right now. But we can see that Tesla's getting further and further into Goku's base, and he's building large power plants as well. And now Alex has got some heavy tanks in, but we can see that Gerben is coming in with medium tanks, and now he's going for the ore refinery again. And it does look like it's going to go down once again, and this time Goku's not going to have the funds to be able to replace it, and now they're going to be taking out maybe that war factory I thought, but now they're going for those heavy tanks of pink and destroying them. We can see that orange and green do have the better tank numbers at this point in time, and they will do now because there's only going to be one player. We can see that Goku is selling up and is out of the game. And green and orange are going to have the better tank numbers because there's obviously two teams to produce them now, and we can see that pink is trying to continue with the Tesla crawl, but it's going to be very hard. He's got 2 teams to fight against, and even though he's going to be able to build structures twice as fast, that will unlikely be enough. So let's see now. We can see that Gerben is going from the top, and we can see Rambo going from the bottom. Now Gerben diving in, and he sees 3 Tesla coils there, and he's thought better of it, and he's had to pull back because those Teslas just do great damage against tanks. Even if you're using medium tanks, which are more durable, the Teslas do still do a great deal of damage. They also do a good damage to heavy tanks as well. So now orange and green regrouping together, and you can see the army is much bigger. Gerben coming in from the bottom now, taking on those heavy tanks, and Alex is just pulling back into the safety of those Tesla, because obviously he wants to fight around the Tesla, so the other tanks will take a lot of damage. But we've got 2 groups of tanks coming from different directions. We've got Gerben going to the very left, and we've got Rambo to the right, so he's unsure of where to go now. He's got 4 Teslas there, but there's a little gap down the left hand side, and now Rambo is diving in from the right against the Tesla because there's no tanks there to defend it. And now Gerben going further up into the base, and has now come back down again, and 2 of those Tesla have gone down. Rambo's managed to take them out, but Alex taking Gerben's tanks out because he's starting to build up his heavy tank mass. He's still got 3 Tesla there, and Rambo's attacking from the bottom and trying to work his way up. He's taken 1 Tesla out, but yet again the other team have had to fall back a little bit because they're just taking too much damage. And now they're going to have to fall back a bit because those tanks are just taking too much damage from those Tesla. And we're going to go back to the game view now when we've just taken out Brown Puddle. And now we've got Henter on the top of the map, but we got the tank mass, and you can see those tanks being taken out pretty quickly. He's taking in reinforcements, but my reinforcements are going to be coming up also. And now I've got another war factory. And yeah, I forgot to build some tanks there, but that's not going to be too much of an issue. We've got past the crucial part of the match. I'm also going to build 2 ore trucks, just so I can keep that economy going after start producing tanks, because when you start producing tanks from 4 war factories, that is quite fast tank production, and you do really need a great economy to be able to utilise that. And we've got Ronaldo coming up. I think he was having a look in the middle of the map just to check if there were any surprise MCVs there or anything like that, but it looks like there aren't. And now we're just pushing on to Henfer's base. One of Henfer's ore trucks being taken out there, trying to mine the gems near Brown Puddle's base. And now we're just pushing further and further in, and there's nothing Henter can do at this stage. Early on, I think when he dived Ronaldo's base, he just wasn't able to do enough damage. If you go for the base dive, you do need to be able to do a lot of damage in order to get the benefits from it. Otherwise, what happens is the other team just build up a big army and then have the army size advantage, and that's exactly what's happened in this game. What he needed to do was either be able to take out the construction yard or refineries, things like that, and just wasn't able to do it at that stage. So now we're just pushing on through Henfer's base, and you can see he's got quite a good economy going. He's got many ore refineries. I wonder how many war factories he's got actually, because that's a lot of ore refineries he's got there. But you can see his base is completely decimated from the bottom now. He's lost his construction yard, and we're taking out some of his main buildings, and he's going to be shortly out of the game. After this, we still got Alex, who's located in the middle left position, who went for the multi-MCV strategy and currently has quite a few Tesla dotted around. So we'll just take out these ore trucks from Henter, and then we'll start moving on to the next player. And just taking out those ore trucks. And what I decided to do actually was just pull back a little bit, group up, and actually go down the middle of the map, because I know that that's where Gerben's base is. So just fighting from there. Although it does make sense quite often to go from the other side, but that's probably what Ronaldo will do at this point. So we're going down to Gerben's base, and we can see Gerben's base is practically untouched. There's no marks there from any fighting, which we saw early on. There was all the fighting took place at Goku's base, and now into Alex's base. And you can see now going down, you can see that Tesla defense still holding, and Alex still with those heavy tanks. So that Tesla defense and heavy tank combo providing a really good defense, but unfortunately his teammates are dead. And that's the problem with multi-MCV. Although it makes you really strong later in the game, early on in the game you're not able to provide as much support to your teammates, and then your teammates are more likely to get wiped out. And now you can just see us taking out the whole of Alex's base. However, I do think there was one thing that could have changed the game a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take us back to earlier on in the game where we saw Goku place his second ore refinery. At this point, we see Goku place his ore refinery next to his war factory. Now, I think if he'd put it further back in the base, maybe next to those two pink Tesla, I think things could have turned out a little bit differently, because it would have been much harder for those green tanks to get close. Of course, during the game, you are making snap decisions, and it's always easy to look back and have a look at things that could have done better and things you could have done instead. Now we're back to the final moments of the game. You can see we've got loads of tanks in now. I've gone for medium tanks now. We can see Ronaldo with that massive light tank mass, which is possibly better for taking out buildings because they do really good damage, those light tanks, and they do travel really fast, so the reinforcements can get there quickly. And that is the end of that game. So a very high level game there. There's very few games you get like that. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.